Hey everybody, what's up? This is Sala, and today I'm going to explain what are data types in programming. Data types are probably the first concept that you learn when you start learning any programming language. They are important, they are very important, and you need to have very solid understanding of them, right? So let's try to learn data types in programming context. I want you to focus on the term that you see on the screen, data types. What does it say? It is saying that data exists in different types, and that is true. For example, we have numeric type data, and numeric type data is further divided into two types, the whole numbers and the real numbers. And we have character type data that represents only a single character. And we have data that consists of a group of characters. We call it text or string. We have boolean types, we have object types data, we have images, and so on. So when we have data in different forms, we need a mechanism to classify that data to talk to the computer, because our computer by themselves cannot classify the data we are sending to them for processing. So here comes the role of data types. In programming, data types are used to classify data before it is sent to the computer for processing, because programming is a way to communicate with the computer, and when you communicate with the computer via programming, you tell the computer exactly this is the type of data I'm sending to you. Process it and send me back the result. So data types are only for classification of data in programming. Now remember one thing, data types by themselves do not store data. We use data types to create variables, and the data is stored in the variables. So after doing this tutorial on data types, I will do another tutorial on variables. And I would strongly recommend to watch the tutorial on variables to get the whole picture of it, right? Now, in programming, there are reserved words or commands to specify the different types. As we are learning the C sharp, so we will only look the words, the reserved words we have in C sharp to specify different types of data. So if you want to specify that you are working with the whole numbers, then you can use the reserved word short, int, and long. And if you want to specify that you're working with floating point numbers, then you can use the reserved words float, double, and decimal. And when you want to specify that you are sending a single character for processing, then you can use a reserved word char. And when you're working with a group of characters like text, then you will specify its type using the keyword string. For true and false, we use the reserved word bool. And finally, if you want to specify that you're working with object, then you will use the reserved word object. So these are the reserved words or the keywords in C sharp that we use to classify or specify the type of data. Now, for the whole numbers or the integer numbers, we have different options. You can use short, int, or long. You can use any of them to specify an integer value. The only difference is that they have different sizes. The size of the short is 16-bit, int is 32-bit, and long is 64 bits. So we have three options, and among them, the option that we use in practicing is int, right? The int has become standard, and it is used to specify the integer values or integer numbers. Similarly, for the floating point numbers, you can use float, double, or decimal. The size of the float is 32-bit, double is 64, and decimal is 128. And the keyword that we use in programming is double, which is also the default floating point data type in .NET, right? So friends, that was an intro about the data types. They are only used to classify data in different types. And when we program, we have to classify our data. Otherwise, we can't communicate with the computer. We can't send data to the computer for processing. So that was much of theoretical stuff. And I know you want to know how to use them. They are used in creation of variables, and variables is the next topic which I'm going to cover in another video. So stay tuned for the video, and I hope this explanation is going to help you out. I will see you around, and thanks for watching.